Okay guys, so I just started painting our guest room. I wanted it like a really light blue, I'm thinking like blue and crispy white. And then we bought a secondhand solid wood bed frame and it looks so nice. So that's kind of the vibe I'm going for. And the blue, I mean, when I opened up the can, it looked beautiful. On the wall, it looks a little bit darker than what I was expecting. So fingers crossed it dries a little bit lighter. Yeah, I'm just cutting in right now and then I guess we will see how it looks when it dries, and it might be a bit darker than I was expecting, but we'll see. Alright guys, we are back in our guest bedroom. It's a little echoey, sorry about that. And I was debating if the color I chose was the right color. No, it was definitely not. I mean, like, yeah, it was what we picked out from the store. We just wanted like a really light blue, and when you're just picking up from the cards in the store, you're not seeing it in the natural light, you're not seeing it in your space, and it turned out way darker than what we were expecting. So then we picked out a different one. This one is definitely lighter, and yesterday I started cutting in around the corners and I was a little nervous thinking, oh, this is really bright, but actually it's growing on me a lot. So let me show you. So here by the window, I've just finished rolling this part of the wall, and I mean, it definitely looks different on camera than in real life, but it's quite a bit lighter. And of course, you know, compared to the old white paint that was here before, everything's gonna look really different. But when you're just looking at the blue, I think it looks really nice. I was also really trying to get like a warmer tone blue. So this one is called Transparent Green. It's kind of reminds me of like sea glass. And I wanted something with green undertones so that it would match a little bit at least to our bedroom, because I don't want every room to be like completely different. I want there to be some cohesion within the house. So I'm very satisfied. I'm glad that after we painted a bit, we just decided like, no, this isn't right. Let's go and get the right one. And yeah, I'm just gonna be rolling the walls now, at least for the first coat. I'm not sure how many I'll need to do. I mean, probably 2, but we'll see. Good morning, everybody. So it has been a couple weeks since I've picked up the camera to vlog anything. I have been really struggling with allergies this May, just like the entire month of May. I was just out. And apparently, like, a lot of people are struggling with allergies this year. That's what my doctor said. So even though I have not been functioning, a lot of other things have been, and we have so much progress with the house, with the garden, that I gotta show you guys everything that's happened. Alright, so here are my tomato plants. We put them out maybe like a week ago, and they had some damage done. But the new leaves are looking okay, so I have hope that at least some of them will recover. And then I'm actually gonna be taking some tomato plants from a friend because their family had like way too many. So we have some tomatoes, but they're not looking too great. My onions, on the other hand, are actually looking wonderful. And I guess not a whole lot of pests are interested in eating onions. And then here I have some cucumbers. Only these 3 have survived, which is kind of sad. So if you guys have any idea like what did this, and like this one, it just like it was doing okay, and then something bit it in the middle here. This is definitely a learning year for gardening, because gardening in a garden and gardening on a balcony are 2 different things apparently. Here is a peony that I planted. It's pink. And we also have these pincushion flowers. And again, something is eating the little petals on the inside. So I'm not sure what that is. There's a little bee, but not quite sure what's actually eating here on top of the petals. So we were weeding this entire area. We made a nice border. We mulched. So everything so far is looking just a lot more maintained. Our long-term plan here is to have a big staircase going down here in the middle, and then the little staircase over there we're probably going to get rid of. But like here, big stone staircase to go then right into the garden. And then this is my one raised bed that we planted, and everything was growing so well. And then something came and ate it all, which was so disheartening because everything was doing so well. But the good news is we have all this space. Like, this is the back portion of our garden, and my plan is just to dedicate basically all of this space just to garden beds. But because gardening here in the garden is so different, I'm gonna meet up with some people, get some recommendations for them what I should try to not have my whole garden eaten by slugs and snails, or whatever else it might be that's actually eating all my things. And I think I need to do that before I plant things out, because otherwise I'll plant them out and they'll be gone the next day. These are the only plants that are doing exceptionally well. These are my Hokkaido pumpkins, which I'm growing. And this one, I put 2 in the pot. I also put 2 in this one, but only 1 came up. And this one I'm technically supposed to take 1 out, but I don't have the heart to do that. So I think I'm gonna try and transplant one of them to another pot so I can have 3 pumpkins instead of 2. But I have also not trusted myself to take them outside the house yet. So I'm gonna wait until I talk with some people, and then I'll put them outside. So another thing that happened in May were that my parents came to visit, and they came really to help us move in, to help us with the house. And that was such a relief, because before they came, you know, I was in that stage of overwhelm, and then they came and they really helped us get like a lot of work done. But now that they're gone again, I'm like back in that stage of overwhelm with the garden, especially like that. We've done a lot of important inside things for the house, and that's kind of less in our control because we're having workers come in and do stuff. But for the garden, it's like basically all up to us. Yeah, so it's a little overwhelming, and I hope that I can learn how to be a good gardener here. Alright, so now that I've shown you what we're working with, I thought I would go through my goals and dreams of the garden and make an actual pen and paper list of what we need to get done. So if you go to my Pinterest, okay, so I'm looking at my garden page on my Pinterest, and I definitely have very like English, cottage, definitely more towards greens, purples, whites. That's mainly for like the garden bed section. And then, oh yeah, here, oh yeah, something like this. That would be kind of amazing if I could achieve a vegetable garden like this. I mean, really, just these like big plot gardens are so nice. And realistically, in the first few years of me gardening, I'm not gonna have like raised beds for absolutely everything, just because raised beds are a lot more money than just planting on the ground. So I think maybe I will slowly every year add one or two, and then other than that, just do like the no dig method. That's my big plan. Another thing I would really love to do, especially this year, because I do have some cucumbers that have survived, and I have my pumpkins, which are doing good. So I'm thinking I want to make like a hanging trellis for my pumpkins and cucumbers. So I know a lot of people use, what is it called? It's like a farm fence. So maybe for one of those things I'll use that. I don't know if I'll use that for pumpkins or cucumbers. But to save money, I'm going to reuse some of this other wood trellising that we bought a few years ago. We had it in 2 flats ago, 2 apartments ago, when we were like living in the city. We had the really big balcony. So I think I'm going to use that to make one big triangle. And that can be for a couple plants going up. And then I'll also make like an archway. And I mean, really, having something stone, like stone garden beds, that would be so luxe. because it's so humid and moist here in Germany that if I put wood out, it's gonna start degrading so fast. And I feel like I would put all this money and effort into making like nice wooden raised garden beds, and they wouldn't even last 5 years probably. So definitely gotta slowly do metal or stone. Okay, so let's actually make a list now. What do I need to do? Number 1, I need to decide how big I'm actually going to make my beds. Also, if you're wondering, I have henna on my finger. I was at a friend's henna evening before her wedding, so that's why I have a red finger. So there's a ton of space back there, and I think garden beds, like, you want to be able to reach the middle, so I don't want them too wide. I think I'd rather have like longer strips that are maybe like 1.5 meters wide or so. So after I actually make a plan of where and how I want my garden beds to be, then I need to use all of my collected cardboard from moving. And the first step is to lay a layer of cardboard and then water that. And that prevents all of the weeds from growing through, apparently. So I'm just gonna lay out cardboard in dedicated garden bed zones. So the next step, especially for this no-dig method of gardening, is first your layer of cardboard, and then you need like 6 inches of good soil compost. So I need to do some research and find somewhere where I can get some bulk compost here in our area. And then what's optional on top of that is to add mulch. We do already know a place here where we can get like mulch for pretty cheap in bulk, but we actually had all of the kind of half-dead trees in our backyard cut down, and we have a huge pile of all of the branches and stuff, which we are going to be renting a mulcher, and we're going to turn that into mulch. And so I guess some of that we can put on top of the beds, but probably most of it we'll just put like beside the beds just to like keep the weeds down like around the beds. So next step is to rent a mulching device. As for my trellises, I already have the materials for one of them, and then for the other one I will have to look up how to get cattle panels. I think I could probably get that from a local kind of gardening pet store that we have, because they also have stuff for livestock, so I think I can get that there. So I think for right now that is probably enough for this list. I don't want it to be too overwhelming because that's kind of the theme of this whole garden, is that it's just kind of overwhelming at the moment. So that's enough for now. I think we're gonna try and get as much of this done as we can in the next week, and then I can finally plant out all of my vegetables. So thanks for coming and hanging out with me for this very random vlog of our garden. It's really big, and we're very privileged to have such a space here in Europe, like in a village. So it's really nice, but it's also a lot of work. So any tips that you guys have, I would be so grateful to hear. Yeah, and then I am going to try and work through this checklist that I made for myself, and next time I will show you guys an update of what we have all accomplished inside the house, because the bathrooms are almost done. The living room area is basically done now. Our bedroom is completely done. There's a lot of stuff that is just really far along and almost there. And next week the tile people are coming back and finishing up. So just a lot of really exciting things. So if you like this video and you want to see more, then make sure that you subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!